Welcome to today's tutorial on exporting and downloading a CSV file from a database in a Spring Boot application. First, let me show you our final demo. This is our home page. This page shows the employee list from my database. When click this download button, it will download the CSV. Here is our downloaded CSV file. I opened it using Microsoft Excel so that it shows the data in a formatted way. This contains our employee's ID, name, phone number and email. And these are the employee's data from my database. Now let's start coding. First, let's check our data in the database. I am using MySQL as my database system, and for interacting with the database, I am using MySQL Workbench, which provides me with a nice graphical interface. Here is my connection, which is linked to my database. Within the database is our schema, CSV underscore data. It contains a table named employee. Let's take a look at the data. Employee table consists of 4 columns: ID, email, name, and phone. This table contains data for 50 employees. Using Spring Boot, I will export and download this data in CSV format. I have already created a project and imported it into my IDE. Let me give you a brief summary that what I have done in the project so far. First, we have here our entity, which is employee. This entity is mapped with the employee table of our database. It has a couple of fields: ID, name, phone, email, and the setter and getter methods. I have also added the corresponding layers. First, we have a CSV service. Here, only one method is implemented, fetching the data from database with the help of the employee repository. Here is our employee repository, and we have our CSV controller. Currently, it has only one method, home, that is mapped to the root URL. It calls our service to fetch the employee list and map it to the model map, that is from Spring Framework UI, and finally returns the HTML file name that is responsible for presenting the data in the web page. Here is our index.html file inside resources templates folder. This is our table. Here I am iterating through the employee list and showing the data in the table cell. Now check our application.yml file. It contains the necessary properties for database connection. Let's run the project. The server is started at port 8080. Open the URL in the browser. Here it shows our employee data from the database. Here I will add a button. When clicked, it will download the file. Back to our IDE. Here you can see our pom.xml file. I am using the Spring Boot version 3.1.5 and my Java version is 17. Here are the dependencies I need for the project. I need to add an additional dependency that will help us to generate the CSV. Let's do it. Go to mavenrepository.com. Here search for Apache Commons CSV. Here is our dependency. Click this. Let's click on the latest version. Make sure the Maven tab is selected. Copy this from the text box. Paste it in our POM file before this closing dependencies tab. Now we need to reload our dependency list. Inside this POM file, right click, then Maven and reload the project. Now open index.html file. After this heading, add a link, give it class for styling. I am using Bootstrap CSS framework, so give Bootstrap specific styles. I want to show it as a button primary. Provide our URL using th:/href This is timely specific attribute that helps us to generate proper URL. Then add curly bracket and the endpoint is download. Now start the server. Check it in the browser. Here is our button added. Currently, clicking this button will show a white label error as I have not implemented method for downloading. Back to the IDE. Open controller. Add a get mapping. Our endpoint is download. Add a new public method. It returns the response entity of type resource. Let's name it download CSV. We will stream the file back to the client using Spring Boot response entity. This will allow the user to download the CSV file directly from their web browser. So return response entity, then .ok for HTTP status code 200. Now we need to add appropriate response header to enable file download. We will specify content disposition header with the value attachment and provide our file name. So .header, inside the parentheses, HTTP header .content disposition. The next parameter is the attachment. After that, give a semicolon and give the file name. Then need to add content type header. Here media type .parse media type. Here provide the type of our media, that is application/CSV. And finally body. In the body, we need to provide our data stream. Let's call it data. Now let's generate our data stream. We need a CSV printer. Here we need to pass two parameters. First one is the place where the values get written. I will write it in the text output stream. So I will use print writer. Inside print writer, I need to provide an output stream where the data will be written. I am going to use byte array output stream. Let's extract it to a variable. Then after print writer, I need to provide CSV format. Let's give it CSV format .default. Save it to the CSV printer variable of type CSV printer. Now let's write some data in our CSV printer. CSV printer .print record. Here I am providing ID, name, phone and email. Then flash the printer. This CSV printer throws an IO exception. Let's add it to the method signature. Finally, create a new input stream resource. In the constructor, we need to provide our input stream, new byte array input stream. To generate this input stream from our output byte stream, we need to pass our output stream .byte array. Save it to our data variable of type input stream resource. Run the project, open in the browser. Click on the button to download the CSV. Our CSV file is downloaded. Open it. Here is our provided data. Now, let's populate our CSV file with our employee data. So, in the controller, before flashing the CSV printer, fetch the employee from database. Save it to employee list variable. Loop through the employee list using for each loop. For data type is employee, variable name is employee. We need to iterate through employee list. Inside curly bracket, CSV printer dot print record. Here we need to pass our data. First one is our employee ID. ID is type of integer, so we need to convert it to string. Second parameter is employee name. Third one is employee phone. And lastly, employee.getEmail. Now run the project again. Open the browser, refresh, click the button. Our CSV file is downloaded. Let's open it. Here is our CSV file with employee data. Congratulations! We have successfully implemented our project of downloading data as CSV file. We can stop here, but I want to do some refactoring. Let me create a package helper. Inside it, create a new class CSV helper. In this class, create a method write CSV. It accepts employee list and return type is byte array input stream. From our controller, move the employee list at the beginning of the method. Then cut the rest of the code and paste it into the write CSV method of CSV helper class and return new byte array input stream output stream dot to byte array. Make this method public and static. It throws an IO exception. Now in the controller, here is the input stream resource. Remove this byte array input stream and pass the value that we got from CSV helpers write CSV method. CSV helper dot write CSV pass our employee list. Run the project. Check on the browser. Download the CSV by clicking the button. Open the downloaded file. The output is same as before. Now let's do further refactoring. In our CSV service, creating a new method. Return type is input stream resource. Method name load. It will throw IO exception. Cut this whole code from the controller. Paste it in the load method of the service class. Fix this error. And finally return the stream resource. In the controller's download method, in the body of the response entity, load the stream from our CSV service. CSV service dot load. Now run the project one more time. Check it on the browser. Click the download button. The file is downloaded. Open the file. The output is the same as before. Perfect. Now we have reached at the end of this tutorial. Soon I will be back with another one. In the meantime, keep learning, keep exploring, and most importantly, never stop. Happy coding!